Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And I'm not going to take too much of your time today. Just want to touch on something. So before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as you guys know, Deion Sanders, man, is probably becoming the biggest attraction in all of sports right now. He's like, Deion Sanders is the hottest thing in sports. I don't care the sport. It could be football. It could be basketball. It could be baseball. I don't care what it is. In the United States right now, Deion Sanders is dominating the headlines. And for all the good reasons. All the good reasons. We recently produced a show where we were covering a report from Front Office Sports where they were talking about how Deion Sanders, just the impact that he's having on that ball club with all the attention he's able to garner, and these television networks like ESPN, FS1, all of these guys, CBS, all of these guys covering, the Colorado Buffaloes, that it's even having a financial impact. Ticket prices are going through the roof. Guys are making a lot of money. He's generating a lot of buzz. There's a lot of TV ratings around these guys to the point where you have ESPN and these guys covering their games. And Deion Sanders right now is a money-making machine for sports, number one. Number two, in the midst of all of this, Deion Sanders has had detractors all over the place, starting from people like Jason Whitlock, who we've recently been Jason Whitlock. You know what's interesting? Of all the people to root against, why would you root against Deion Sanders? Why would you risk this guy making you look like a fool two times every month or every time these guys play a game? Going into this game against, Colorado State? The Colorado State Rams. There were people that were actually saying that the Buffaloes' 2-game start was actually going to be put to a halt going into that game. A lot of people were like, yeah, he's going to eat his words. Now we're going to get him. I don't see it happen. I don't see it going. Even the head coach of Colorado State was even talking trash, talking about the way the guy wears his hat and he's wearing glasses and all of these different crazy things. Oh, how are we going to stop him and all of that? The man shows up to the football game. Not only is he wearing his glasses and his hat to make a statement, they go out there and in a thriller end up winning that game 43-35 with his son throwing a touchdown pass in overtime. And then they were able to get an interception to basically seal the game. On top of that, you have a stadium that is full of stars. Kawhi Leonard was out there. I think Offset? Was it Offset or one of the people from the Migos? So many celebrities were there to watch a college football game. And by the way, we're talking about a team that I believe went 1-11 last year. 1-11. This team already has more wins than they did all of last season. And to add insult to injury, Colorado State's, their head coach that was talking all that trash, as we currently speak, they have an 0-2 record. And the coach was sitting up there talking about this guy wearing a hat and glasses. Maybe if you spent more time game planning and less time talking about his upbringing and who raised him and all of these different things, maybe you might have been competitive in that ball game. Well, maybe you might have won. Maybe you might have won. Now, I heard Deion Sanders at the end of the game. He spoke about he didn't like the way that his team played. He wished that they would have had a much cleaner game. But nevertheless, he was happy with the victory. Which brings me to his haters. I think it's time we have a moment of silence for all the Deion Sanders haters. We need to have a moment of silence for these dudes. Because it's one thing if you're doubting the guy going into the season. It's one thing if you're saying that this guy is all talk. He can't produce the results. That's one thing. And I can understand that because no one likes a loudmouth that's not accomplishing anything. That I totally understand. It's another thing to see the guy gaining success and week after week looking for ways to criticize him and essentially hoping that he fails. This is where we are with some people. Do you know at the end of that win, do you know that there's still going to be people out there that are going to be questioning Deion Sanders, questioning the way that these guys are doing things? The fact of the matter is this: these guys are reinventing the game right now. They really are. They're revolutionizing college football. Because I'll give you guys an example. We're an NBA channel. We predominantly cover the NBA. I liked football growing up in terms of watching it. I played it. It's fun. But I didn't have interest in it like that. Deion Sanders and all of the attention around this football team, the Colorado the Buffaloes, is actually causing me to get into college football. Believe it or not. They're actually bringing in new viewers. And that's powerful. Because not only is he having an impact on his team and his players, he's having a bigger impact on the sport, which benefits everybody. You generate more revenue, teams do better, players do better. And to be hating on a guy like that, that's actually going out there and getting the results, says a lot about you. You're questioning somebody that has been successful at almost everything they've done, at almost everything he's attempted. He was a successful NFL player. He played baseball. I think at one point he hit a home run in 1 week and returned a reception in the same week or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And now he comes into he comes into coaching football at the collegiate level. He starts coaching at Jackson State. He starts turning that program around. The guy does so well that when he decides to leave, it actually causes people in that community to go into an uproar because they knew what they were losing. He then goes to a bigger program. They offer him a $29.5 million deal over 5 years. He goes in there and says, you know what? I'm going to turn this program around. A program that, let me repeat once more, that had a 1-11 record. Think about the odds against this guy. He goes out there. Not only is he coaching all of these young men, he's actually also coaching his son as well. And he's leading by example, showing his son to be confident. Don't let people tell you what you can't do. Great lessons. Now, if he's parenting his child in this particular, good for him. It's not my job to tell people how to raise their kids. It's his kid. He's doing all of these things. And at the end of that, you have people out there talking about this guy is not a good Christian. This guy is a media diva, etc., etc., etc. Well, there are a lot of guys that don't talk to the media. A lot of guys that don't wear their glasses and do all of that stuff. They're not generating the type of buzz that Deion Sanders is doing. And it's a business. It's a business. You better not get those two things twisted. It's a business. And I believe that he's executing it at the highest level possible because he's generating interest while winning. What would be annoying is if he's a loudmouth and he wasn't winning. Kind of similar to like a LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball was delusional at times. He would come on television and start saying that his son was better than LeBron James, all kind of better than Stephen Curry, crazy stuff. No proof of concept. We're just up there talking. So he would turn off a lot of people like myself because, bro, you're just talking. There's nothing to back up your claims. That's false bravado. But in the case of Deion Sanders, he's actually seems like someone that's reacting to a lot of the criticism that he may be receiving. And he's handling it masterfully. He's kicking behind and taking names. So for the people that love to hate on him, I would suggest you stop. What kind of life are you living where every single week, you're betting against someone and you're hoping that they fail just so you'll feel better about yourself? Come on, stop. I love it. I'm actually getting into college football because of this guy. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section and we catch you on the next show.